Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolf, and right now I'm in Airdrie, Alberta, and that's just at the northern tip of Calgary. And we are getting prepared here to do another New World Practitioner course and a 3-day pelvic restoration course. Now, Wednesday, we start with the Whole Life Coach certification. That's 9 days. We go for 5 days, then a day off, and then we come back for 3. And then there'll be a day off, and then we'll do the Wolf non-surgical. That's 12 days, and then there's a day off in between. And then at the end of it, we have a day off, and then we have 3 master trainers, women that are coming, Serena, and there's also Simran, and there's also Alicia, and and Lorraine's coming too. There'll be 4 of them, and we'll be doing the Women's Pelvic Restoration and Disease Prevention course. Now, just know that we've got, right now, we've got 5 spots left for the pelvic course, the 3-day course. We've got actually 3 spots left for the Wolf non-surgical bodywork course, and then we've got only 2 spots now left for the Whole Life Coach certification, but that starts Wednesday. So the reality is this: what is it worth for you to become abundant on all levels? Because that's what I teach. I teach you how to become abundant financially, okay, emotionally, and physically. And I make you that promise. And I'll give you a money back guarantee at the end of the day that if I don't totally blow you away, we'll give you your money back and you can sit in free for the day. And that's anywhere we go around the world. Because after we finish here, we go to Australia. After we go there, then we go to Bonita, Florida, then we go to Texas, and then we go to Barrie, Ontario again. And then I'll be setting up our BraveHeart Nation University in Puerto Rico and setting up our new clinic there. Now, here's my one-a-day, okay? My one-a-day is how to bankrupt America. Now, you think I'm exaggerating, right? Well, most people get so stressed out, and let's put it this way. First of all, what do? Well, first of all, the first thing you should always do is never follow the majority, because the majority is never been right. Does anybody know that? The majority has never been right. Oh my God, that's kind of a scary thought, right? Well, the reality is it's so easy to program the majority of the population in North America. And the reality is you haven't noticed that prices are going to going through the roof, whether you go out to the restaurant, go buy your groceries, just everything's going up. Okay, so the reality is everything's going up and the money in your pocket and in your bank is going down. But here's why. Are you ready for this? Because the majority of the population are sick, fat, exhausted, and depressed. Yes or no? Did I make that up? Do you want to throw a tomato at me? Good luck. We're online, so I won't feel it. Here's the deal, just so you know. Let's just go over just some real truths, okay? First of all, you can take this one to the bank. Why don't you go check it out? Did you know that it's been like about 20 years and the United States government and the Canadian government do this? But in the United States, I've got the fact for you. Are you ready? I hope you're ready. Your government gives food stamps in the United States to 15% of the population. Yeah, 15%, and it's climbing every day. You want to know something else? Your government gives $10 billion to Coca-Cola. Tell me they don't have power. And that's part of the food stamp program. Are you ready for that? So anyways, it was going to be pulled away, but then guess what? They said that the government was racist because even poor people should be able to afford Coca-Cola. Now understand something, okay? So what is Coca-Cola? Well, Coca-Cola is what? It's liquid diabetes. That's what it is. I mean, how many people know, okay, how many people actually know that 30% of all North American children, Canadian and United States, are pre-diabetic? How many people know that 80% of all adults in Canada and the United States are pre-diabetic? Okay. How many people know that Alzheimer's and dementia is stage 3 diabetes? How many people know that all processed foods have what in them? They have tons of sugar, processed sugar. What else do they have? Well, they have tons of processed grains, okay, which is a refined carbohydrate, which is which is little brother to sugar, to just totally blow you apart. Okay, and then you've got seed oils. So these three things are destroying North America. These three things will bankrupt North America. How many people know that 20% of all tax dollars, all government money, is going towards health care, which is really sick care? How many people know that so many people in the world are jockeying, or not even in the world, but in the United States and Canada, are jockeying to use the sick care system because they think that if they just can use it more and more, that they're going to get healthy. It's like most people now are going, God, I need health insurance. Well, it's not health insurance, it's sick insurance. And I'm telling you right now, the majority of the population, okay, you better get sick insurance, because you're going to need that, because guess what? You're not going to be able to afford the drugs that you're going to need to numb yourself out from all the inflammation and stiffness and swelling and pain you're going to be in. So you might want to get it, but it's going to be very expensive because it's a business, okay? And sickness is a business. And I want you to get something here too that you really need to understand, is that everything's on the rise, okay? Cancer has just exploded since we did the V thing, and that doesn't stand for victory, okay? I'm going to be coming on here tomorrow with some stats, and they are going to blow your mind when you see how breast cancer has gone through the roof. And I mean, well, I'm not even going to tell you the stats, because I'm sure you're trying to juggle and digest what I'm giving you right now. But digest, isn't that the great thing? Because guess what? Do you know what people are, why we're going to go bankrupt? Because of metabolic disorder. That means your metabolism is destroyed. From your mouth to your rectum is the highway, the most important highway in the world, and it's basically destroyed in the majority of the population. And did you know this? That 50% of all children right now are overweight. Did you know that 1 out of every 4 are obese? Did you also know that if you have a child, and this is a stat, if you have a child that's 12 years old, that child will not outlive their parents. That's how much they're being poisoned. My husband died from breast cancer. Well, understand something. He didn't really die from breast cancer. He died from all the sugar. He died from all the refined grains. He died from all the seed oils. He died because your husband had bad habits. Understand something. People are getting sick because they have bad habits. People are dying because they have bad habits. And because everybody has bad habits, they just look like habits. Understand that. Do not follow the majority of the population. The majority of the population, okay, are leaving. They're leaving. They're leaving. They're leaving. They're leaving. A good part of your family are going to be leaving. A good part of your friends are going to be leaving. They don't have to do anything anymore. Okay? They don't. Listen, metabolic disease is what's going on, and that's all autoimmune diseases. And I already told you that Alzheimer's and dementia are stage 3 diabetes. That's all it is, and people just don't want to get this. And the reality is, I can tell you right now, I have what's called the Perfect Day diet, and I'm going to tell you this, what they've tried to do. They've tried to make everything look so confusing to you. So when you get so confused about things, what do? You do nothing. And when you do nothing, guess what? You're going to be leaving. You're going to be leaving. Unless you're going to spend money and learn how to create the perfect day from the moment you rise until you close your eyes, you're being sold off by the pound. Let me just say this. The medical system is an emergency care system. What would you say would be the biggest breakthrough in medical care in history? Well, I would say it would be antibiotics, and I'm not against it. So, but look, if somebody's appendix were to burst open, without antibiotics, we probably wouldn't save their life. You know, so when we are in an acute, life-threatening situation, we should use antibiotics. But antibiotics are no good for chronic care. Did you get what I just said? So if you've got a chronic healthcare problem, like a lung problem or arthritis or cancer or, my God, almost everything. The only thing that antibiotics are good for is an acute, okay, life-threatening situation. Now think about all the times that you've had antibiotics and ask yourself, when you've taken those antibiotics, was it a life-threatening situation? No, it wasn't. It's their only go-to. okay? So they use their so-called biggest breakthrough, silver bullet, and they use it on everything. But every time you do that, you blow up your immune system, which is 85% of that is in your large intestine, which is your good bacteria that are now bad. Just know that every time that you take a round of antibiotics, that instead of having 85% good bacteria, 15% bad, now it's flipped over the other way. You need to understand this, and everybody else needs it. If you are a really healthy person and you are really embracing nature and you understand that you must stay away from all sugar, you must stay away from all refined carbs, you must stay away from all seed oils, you'd understand that that's 98% of a grocery store, okay? Your corner store, that's all of the 100% of the corner store, okay? And as far as the health food store, it's 70% of the health food store. Did you get that? So the reality is everybody is helping to poison everybody. That's what's going on. And understand this, United States and Canada will go into bankruptcy. And yes, there's a lot of things going on, but the main reason they're going to, let me ask you a question. Somebody that's sick, fat, exhausted, and depressed, how efficient are they at working? How efficient are they at making money? How efficient are they at making proper decisions? Well, that would be the majority of the population right now, right? So don't delude yourself. So what I'm going to tell you, if you're not part of the majority of the population, if you are the minority that is so-called health nut and actually understand something, my God, did you know that if we could just get a person that's in severe depression to do 150 minutes of exercise, otherwise 25 minutes of exercise, and you can take a look at my DIY guide, the pelvic squats, the crab stretch, Lionheart breathing. That's all they have to do. And if they did 25 minutes of that type of exercise, and they did it every day for 6 days, they would come out of their depression. And studies have shown that exercises like we teach, okay, there's no drug that can outshoot it. Nothing can outshoot it. The facts are there, guys, and nobody's going to come up against me because the facts are there. And just know this, okay, that it's like this. Big food is making everybody big, okay? Big food is making everybody big. Now I want you to go walk over to your fridge, walk over to your cupboards, and then I want you to take a look at your addictions. And then, please, stop complaining, stop explaining, because you're poisoning yourself. Whether you're doing it on a conscious level or an unconscious level, that's not the point. The point is, my God, can we just find some parents that will hold the line and not make excuses that they buy all this crap because their kids want it, when actually the parents want it and they're addicted to it, and the parents are actually alcoholics, so they're getting their sugar, so they're making sure their kids get sugar. I mean, how many people understand here that all of these celebrations, whether you're talking about Thanksgiving or Halloween or Christmas or birthdays, it's all about sugar. And what we do is we make our children into sugar addicts so they can become drug addicts and that they can become alcoholics. I mean, why can't parents just wake the heck up? Why do they have to be like everybody else and fit in like everybody else? Well, wait until the tsunami hits. Because I'm telling you right now, the majority of the population is leaving. Even if these so-called psychos never did another thing, and all they did was just keep on making their processed foods, for the majority of the population are just a bunch of addicts. And the reality is, you know, it's very difficult to talk to addicts. You know, you can actually do a consultation on someone, and I have to say this all the time before I start. I go, listen, just so you know, don't let your subconscious try to lie and protect your addictions. I need to know all your addictions. Like when we do Perfect Day Consultations, we tell everyone, we want you to put in point form your worst day. We want you to put all your symptoms. We want you to put all the different drugs you're on, because it gives us what? I'll tell you what it is. All we want to know, it gives us a good idea about your personality, because your personality is your reality. So we take a look at that, and then we know if your personality is going to kill you. We also know if your personality is going to stop you from making any great decisions to actually change your life and save your life. And understand something, it's not easy. Health is simple, but it's not easy when you're an addict. And don't you dare tell me that the drug addict is the only addict. I can tell you right now that the worst addicts in the world are sugar addicts. That's the worst addicts in the world. It's more addictive than cocaine. But we don't talk about that, do we? And understand this. Why don't you go do your homework? Children today are eating 100 times more sugar than they were 100 years ago. So why don't we all just play with our children, because we're going to be saying goodbye to them. There's no way that anybody can eat 100 times more sugar than 100 years ago and not become a drug addict, an alcoholic, and a psycho, okay? I mean psycho. I mean being depressed or having seizures or hearing voices. I mean, all of this is due to diet. I've been on an anti-seizure med for about 60 years. I'm slowly stopping them. Well, believe it or not, between the sugar and between also the anxiety, if you've been on it for 60 years, then your parents were probably psycho, okay? Weren't they? And they were fighting a lot, okay? They actually didn't realize it, but they terrorized you. And the only way that you could cope for the last 60 years was to actually numb yourself out, because nobody needs to have a seizure if they're getting their proper nutrition, okay? But after a while, you have enough seizures, your body will actually create a seizure for no reason. Or it'll create a seizure depending on the verbiage or what you see or what you smell. Everything is a program. Your seizures were a program. Your seizures are a program. Why doesn't everybody just go and get their calendar right now? And I want you to write down every time you have a tantrum, every time that you feel like you need a chocolate bar, every time you feel you need a Coke, every time you need to smoke, every time you need a drink, every time, how am I doing? Unless it's something that is high vibrational, I want you to write it down on the calendar and do that for 2 months, and you're going to find out you're running a program, you're running a program, you're running a program. You can almost set your clock to it. Oh, I need my toke. I need my smoke. I need my drink. I need to have a temper tantrum. I need to have a headache. Listen, quite a few years ago, I would get a headache every Friday, and it would wipe me out all weekend. And then I would just start to get myself together and get balanced, and then I'm ready to go on Monday. Tell me that wasn't a program. The whole damn thing was a program. And then because I had so many migraine headaches, guess what? Because I was doing non-surgical, I had a knot here, and then it came up here and came here, and right here, okay, I went in and I broke it up. I had a big piece of crystallization and scar tissue and calcium here, and every time I had a headache, the headache would be here, and the headache would be here, there was a knot, and the headache would be right here, there was a knot halfway up my neck, and then one right here. I broke the knot up here, and I broke the knot here, and I broke the knot here, but I stopped doing the program, and the program was anxiety and feeling like I had to do everything and run here, run there, go here, go there. And and I still had addictions, even though I was a natural health practitioner. We all are addicts of something. You know, for the first 10 years when I was in health, guess what I would do? After I would do a patient or a client and then tell them how to live their life, I would go into the back alley and I'd smoke 2 cigarettes fast, chew some gum so nobody could smell it on me, and I'd put some essential oils on, and then I'd run back in, and I don't know, I maybe do that 2 or 3 times a day. And I did it because I was in the health business, and back a long time ago, I've been in it for 40 years. So let's go back 35 years, because it was 35 years. And let's go back 35 years, and actually I felt like a hypocrite, and actually they made us feel like natural health practitioners and doctors were quacks, and nobody really took us seriously because everybody was so into the white coat. You could see somebody with a white coat and they could tell you the most ridiculous thing, like, let's get radiation and mustard gas, and you would just go do it. And then somebody in the health business would say, health is really simple. If you get on this perfect day diet and we do this detoxification program, you could turn around any disease, and you're just going, BS, you don't know what you're talking about, right? And now people are waking up because guess what? Let me tell you something. Doctors are not evil, but the system they work in is totally evil. And I'm going to leave you with that. The reality is that North America will be bankrupt in 5 years to 7 years. This is my stat. And it's really going to go there. Why don't you take a look at how things are just going through the roof? And just so you know, if we wanted to, and there wasn't such thing as these psychos at the top of the pyramid, right? Because that's what life is like at the pyramid. As you go down the pyramid to the bottom, the people at the bottom, they don't know anything except bullshit. And I'm sorry, but I don't mean to swear, but that's all they know is bullshit. And that's the majority of the population. They get fed bullshit. And that's why the majority of the population is sick. That's why they're leaving. Okay? And the reality is as we go up higher, people know more and more until you get right to the tip of the pyramid where you've just got all of these psychos. Like you do know, like I mentioned the other day, that all the presidents were related except for one. You do know that the Queen of England is related to, all these cycles are related to each other. And they don't date back 10,000 years. They date back 100,000 years. Did you get that? And even before money came out, they were granted to be the slave keepers, okay, of us. That's right. So all these families, they believe that they are the royalty, they are gods, and we allow them to be that way because we eat their food. See, we actually think that we're poisoning the planet. The human beings don't poison the planet. It's the corporations, okay, that are actually run by these psychos. And they poison us every day, but I don't see the majority doing anything. They still shower in their chlorinated, fluoridated water, okay? They drink their Coke, they eat their chocolate bars, they eat the potato chips, they drink the alcohol, they do the vaping, they smoke the cigarettes. I mean, think about it. Most families eat more processed food. Oh, you're going to love this. More families eat more processed food in 1 week than we did 40 years ago in a year. Yeah. So kiss your rear goodbye. Okay? Because again, sugar, refined grains, and seed oils. That's it. That's it. And understand that. Yep, Hillary and Trump are 19th cousins. They're all related. And even the people in Europe are related to the psychos and the government people. They're all related all around the world, guys. Okay? Listen to me. Make your home a health-free love zone. Let's see if you can get rid of all addictive products out of your home, and let's see if you can bring unconditional love in. Anyways, we just set up for the course, and now I'm going to go, and we're going to do something nice, right, honey? Yeah. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something. I love this world. And you know what? We're going to come through the other side, and it's going to be for all the better. You know, these guys who say they want, these psychos who are demanding this, that, this, and everything else, okay? Guess what? They don't want it all. They just want to... Are you confused yet? Well, if you're confused, you're on your way out. There's no confusion about it, okay? Look to nature. Look to God.